Did you get out on the road first as a comedian or a musician, or have you done both now at this point?
Probably well, both. So I was part of this podcast called Kill Tony for like 5 years.
Oh, I know. Okay.
So
We've had Tony on the show here.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. So I met them through the store, and my friend was God. This is a long form thing, right? I feel like I'm talking forever.
Fuck, yes, please. This is very long form.
One thing that I beat Brooks on is I got my license at 30. I heard he got his at like 26.
Oh.
And I grew up in Southern California.
You were 30, you grew up in Southern California?
Yeah.
Well, so did Brooks, so he doesn't really have... I did give him shit. Brooks Wackerman, our drummer.
Yeah. His story was better. It's because he was touring and shit. I was just fucking off.
He'd been touring since he was 15.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so I was just like taking the bus, getting rides everywhere, and my friend Pat was Pat was like a guitar, not a guitar comic, because that's like, sounds like a bad thing, but he was a really funny comedian who happened to play guitar. He would do the warm-up for this show called Roast Battle.
Yeah.
And one night he has like this transcendent set up in the belly room, and Rogan's there and Tony's there and Red Band, and he gave a CD to Tony. Tony actually listened to it in his car and said, "Hey, I do this show called Kill Tony, will you come be the band leader?" And so then Pat's like, "You gotta come," but I didn't have a drum set small enough to fit in the belly because it's a tiny little room. And I went to a thrift store and I found like a little kid's like first act bass drum and put new heads on it. I was like, "Hey, I got a kit small enough." And he's like, "Come next Monday." I came that Monday and I just like loved everything about it. The store was like, it felt like I was home, and I was like, I will sink my claws into this. I will do whatever it takes to never leave. And so I just started showing up every Monday. Tony was like, "Every time you're here and you see me, I want you to say hi." And so I did for a long time. And then eventually me, Jeremiah, and Pat became the band. So then I started, once the show kind of blew up, they started taking us on tour with them. So most of my touring was like comedy/music.
Okay.
But when I was in bands as a kid, you never tour. You're just like playing local shows, stuff like that.
Backyards and shit.
Yeah, weird like quinceañera halls and shit like that.